What's going on, my Fly Hippie family? It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. We got Dr. Umar here, man. If y'all don't know about this guy, he's very intelligent, very pro-black on top of that. And he gave his opinion on the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese saga that's going on in the WNBA right now. He has some very interesting things to say here. So we're going to go ahead and break this clip down, man. But before we do that, y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy if you like the content. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We trying to hit at least 8,000 by the end of the day, man. So if we can make that happen, I will highly appreciate that. And don't forget to get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think about this. Let's get it. I can't use like the actual footage because I catch a copyright strike, so forgive me on that.
I got so much stuff I want to ask you. What are your thoughts on the WNBA? In particular, the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese battle for
Here's the thing. My thoughts on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. First of all, much respect to Caitlin Clark because to her credit, I don't feel she came into the WNBA acting like she was the savior. I did not get that from her.
No, me neither.
I got from the white power structure, the Snow Bunny Mafia of the WNBA, that they tried to make her the face of the league before she proved herself. And in doing that, they're overlooking black female athletes who are much better than Caitlin Clark.
Wilson.
You got Asia Wilson for
That's
the
right.
Los Angeles Aces. This is the first woman in WNBA history to score 35 points, grab 10 rebounds, and get 5 steals.
South Carolina's own, baby.
You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, how do you jump to Caitlin Clark and overlook Asia Wilson, a 2-time WNBA MVP? The Aces, they just won their last 2 championships. They sell out almost every other game, but the entire media's attention is on Caitlin Clark.
Prodigy of Don Staley.
Prodigy of North Philly's Dawn Staley,
That's right.
absolute 22nd and Diamond, right? So when I look at, even when we go back to the Lady Gamecocks, they won the championship and all the attention went to Caitlin Clark. They had a near perfect season, only lost 3 games in 3 years. Caitlin Clark gets all the attention.
They were undefeated last year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they was undefeated last year.
That's right.
Since when have you seen the losing team get more attention than the winning team?
All right, so he already said a mouthful. The thing that he's not recognizing is the WNBA can't promote anybody, okay? They don't know how to promote none of their good players, okay? I mean, you got Sabrina, you got Brittany. Those are white players that are fantastic players, and the world still don't know a lot about them. Although Sabrina was in the three-point contest thing with Steph Curry, that helped. That was a great move, but they don't do a great job promoting their great player. When it comes to Caitlin Clark, it is her fans that is making her the face of this league. She has more fans than the league itself. You know, he was bringing up how, you know, there are other players that are better than her. It's not that many players that are better than her. If you look at the league leaders, she's charting top 15 in every category. Not a lot of players are doing what she's doing, if any. Asia is a fantastic player, but she's not the most famous player. The whole rookie class have a good following, okay? They all are helping the league. But the cash cow is definitely Caitlin Clark. She has like a LeBron and Michael Jordan level of notoriety. You know, it was like, you know, when do the player get talked about when they lose, or the losing team get talked about more than the winning team? If you go back and look at The Last Dance, Michael Jordan lost to the Pistons in a Game 7 in the playoffs, and they interview him on the floor. You have that type of charisma. The league, businesses, they're going to capitalize on that. You can't treat Caitlin Clark like she's just a normal player. She's not a normal player. She's a transcending player. She's going to be one that changed the game, changed how the game is being played. And he was talking about how, you know, the Liberty and the Aces are selling out games. Caitlin Clark alone is selling out away games and home games.
And then Gayle King, Oprah's sidekick, she gets on the interview with Dawn Staley and says, "What were you thinking?" Because we were all rooting for Caitlin Clark in Iowa. Iowa got what? Less than 2% black students? Who was voting for Iowa? Who was rooting for Caitlin Clark? We wasn't wishing her no harm, but we was rooting for Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks. The reason I started watching NCAA basketball again, because I had a long hiatus, is because of Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks. Not because of Caitlin Clark and not because of nobody else. So I felt like Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks were shamed. Because they didn't bow down to Caitlin Clark and give her the white privilege. The year before, when they beat the Lady Gamecocks en route to losing to Angel Reese and LSU, anybody who saw the game, so the referees gave it to them. They ripped them off. But, of course, Dawn Staley couldn't say that, right? Because they should be accused of playing a race card. But if you saw the game, they got cheated. So they did everything they could to make Caitlin Clark the great white savior. She's not there yet. I think she's going to be a great player. right? I think she's going to have a tremendous legacy, but she's not a top 10 player in the league. Now you take to look at Angel Reese. She's the first player in WNBA history to get 13 straight double-doubles. Right. Not rookie, period.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting when it comes down to the rookie of the year because you know they want to give it to Caitlin. That's that Snow Bunny privilege. But look at what Angel Reese is doing. I could probably settle for a co-rookie like they did with Jason Kidd and Grant Hill. Yep. I could settle for a co-rookie, but you're not going to give it to Caitlin Clark and try to X out Angel Reese. And I hate the fact that they tried to make Angel Reese the bad guy.
He brought up something saying there's less than 2% of black people in the Iowa college. So you telling me black people wasn't rooting for Caitlin Clark just because of her school being predominantly white? That's a preposterous statement, man. I was rooting for both of them. Speaking on the year that he's talking about, that was 2 years ago. Yes, Don Staley and the dominance of the South Carolina team was the main thing I knew about before I heard about Caitlin Clark. Once I started hearing about Caitlin Clark in the playoffs, I started paying attention to her. And I became a fan immediately. So when they met, I was really excited about that game because I saw the type of game she could bring and the type of game the whole South Carolina team played together. You know, I don't agree with the fact that he's saying, oh, you know, they got cheated. Well, I'm speaking to all my sports players here. If you played sports before, you know you can't leave the game in the refs' hands anyway. So you can't blame the refs for anything. You should have played better so the game wouldn't be in the refs' hands in the first place. But I do agree that it was a weak call, okay? I think it was like they had a few seconds left on the clock. South Carolina had the ball. And I think it was a moving screen, and it caused them to turn the ball over ball game. And now I do agree that you got to allow them to put up a last shot. And then he was saying, you know, they were shamed for last year when they beat Iowa. I saw a lot of praise. I saw a lot of people giving them praise. And then he was saying, you know, she's not a top 10 player right now. If she's not a top 10 player, who do you have in your top 10? I just want to know. Please put in the comments. Who do you have as your top 10 if she's not at least the 10th on your list? Now, mind you, you have sports analysts out here putting this girl in the MVP race. She's number 5 in the MVP race. She's not a top 10 player. Umar, you're speaking from emotions, brother. You know, but then he brought up Angel Reese like she's the top 10 player. I say it all the time. I love her rebound game. That's her master skill. Now, he brought up the double-double streak thing. Even if he wanted to bring up that double-double record, Caitlin Clark has at least 2 to 3 records. That is WNBA, period. 19 assists in a game. Created most points in a game. Fastest player to 300, 150, 150. I didn't agree with how people was coming at Angel Reese when she was in college and she did that. I mean, it's just a competitive stunt. It is what it is. Now, mind you, Caitlin Clark, she didn't really do that to Haley. It was a media thing that made it look like, oh, yeah, you know, she did that to Haley. Now, what turns the tide on that, Angel Reese said out of her mouth that she will take the villain role. And then on top of that, wore the Joker shoes, which were hard, by the way, and is my personal favorite villain. She had bad influences around her. That's what I feel like is going on with Angel Reese. But I think she's a great girl. Then he was talking about the media is going to give Rookie of the Year to Caitlin Clark because of the Snow Bunny privilege. Man, look, if you go look at all my videos, you can see how I'm pointing out how the media was trying to give Angel Reese the Rookie of the Year. I mean, doing stat gymnastics, just trying to run away with the double-double stuff. He was saying, you know, he can deal with a co-Rookie of the Year. I don't think it's a co-Rookie of the Year, at least not at the halfway mark. Now, can Angel Reese turn it around in the second half? Absolutely.
And I hate the fact that so many of our brothers in the sports world kind of parroted the narrative of the WNBA and charged the black women of the WNBA with being jealous of Caitlin Clark. Y'all jealous of all these attention. And then you had other brothers who say, well, she's the reason y'all got flights now. She's the reason this. How is she the reason when Asia Wilson was doing what she was doing before she got there, and there's other women who was doing what she was doing before she got there? Nobody's jealous of Caitlin Clark. They're angry at the racism and the double standard that they are witnessing. You can't expect black women of the WNBA with all the hell that they catch to sit there and watch someone who is not as good as they are be elevated to a level that they were never put at. It's not fair. It's not jealousy. It's an anger, because even at this level of society and professionalism and athletics, I still have to play second fiddle to the white girl even when she's not good enough.
I haven't seen you
he keeps saying it's racism. It's not racism. The black women that he's speaking on, if we speaking on jealousy, it's definitely jealousy going on. Asia said some things out of jealousy. We seen Carrollton saying multiple things out of jealousy. And then Kennedy Carter doing things out of jealousy. The evidence is there. I would see if the evidence wasn't there. But I'm always going to keep it a grand. We've seen the evidence. I do want to ask y'all a question, man. Do y'all think that the WNBA would be getting this media deal without CC? What were they doing before Caitlin Clark got there? Because the charters and all this other stuff came when she got there. Now, what I remember from last year and the year before is how people did not care about the WNBA at all. And this is why I say that. If you go back 2 years to last year, if you look at the comments that people are saying under the videos or posts that they was trying to promote when a player does well in a game, look at what the comments say. They saying any and everything except something about the post. They can post something where somebody is saying they had the most points in the game. And if you look in the comments, it'll be like, man, my dog peed on my carpet yesterday and I had to wash it up. Nasty work. You know, my kid had to get a whooping yesterday because he out here cussing. Man, my wife made the best spaghetti I've ever tasted in my life. Man, I'm so glad I met her. Like, they were literally ignoring the post, under the post, because of the disdain that they have for the league. Which brings me to the point of where he was saying all the hell that they received, they deserved it because of the things that they were saying to piss people off. They were degrading men, which are their biggest fans. They were acting entitled, asking for all this money when they weren't bringing eyes to the league. They were dissing NBA players, which were their biggest fans, and dissing the NBA itself. He was saying they were playing second fiddle to a white player that wasn't good enough. And I'm like, bruh, they're playing second fiddle to her because she is in fact good enough. He was saying they mad at the fact that Caitlin Clark is elevated to a certain level that they were never put at. You think the WNBA put her there? The WNBA needed Caitlin Clark more than Caitlin Clark needed the WNBA. She could have went and played for Ice Cube for $10 million. A king doesn't crown himself. The people crown him. That's the reason Caitlin Clark was elevated like that. She played a tremendous game in college, broke all types of records. Now you're trying to say the women that's already in the WNBA should be handed the same amount of fandom that Caitlin Clark has. It don't work like that. You got to earn it. The same way they making her earn everything in the league, they have to earn Caitlin Clark's fans. It's that simple. How do y'all feel, man? Do y'all feel like Dr. Umar has some points here? Or do y'all feel like he sound crazy? Y'all let me know, man. I love y'all. Y'all keep it smooth.